Hello and welcome to the third video in our series of Back to Work pop-up videos. The title of this session is Winning in the Hidden Job Market. My name is Cindy and I come to you from Painters Community Adult Learning Council. We provide learning opportunities for the residents of Coronation, Castor, Halcrest, Brownfield, and all points in between within the County of Painters. And joining me here today is my colleague Lois.
Hi, I'm Lois Pileggi. I work with Flagstaff Community Adult Learning. We're based in Killam and serve Flagstaff County.
Awesome. Good to be with you here today, Lois. Again, we're here today to talk about winning in the hidden job market. Now, this comes as the third session in behind our first session, which was Job Search with Grit, and our second session, which was Why Should They Hire Me? In those first couple of sessions, we identified some barriers that may be preventing us from moving forward in the job search process. And then we identified our top 10 list of why an employer should hire us. Now we're going to pull all of that together and we're going to create some tools and build some strengths so that we can win in that hidden job market. Lois, why don't you take us through some of those hidden job market details and what can we do about it?
Of course. You know, when we think about the hidden job market, I think we need to think about it from the employer's perspective. So if I'm an employer and I have a hole in my organization, my business that I need to fill, what am I going to do about it? Well, first step is probably going to be, who do I know that might fit that job? Maybe it's someone that used to work for me. It might be someone that's I know in the community. I'm going to try and find someone, grab that person, put them in the hole and keep going. Because my business is not about hiring people. It's about producing what my business produces. If I don't know anyone who's suitable or willing, then I'm going to start asking around. I'm going to ask my family. I'm going to ask other employees. I'm going to ask my bowling team, people that I trust, to see if they have any suggestions. Now, if I don't know anyone, and if the people that I trust don't know anyone that's suitable and willing, then sometimes I'll go and look through the files. Is there someone who gave us a resume just to keep on speculation? Is there someone who applied for an earlier position? I'll see if there's just some good options that are already in-house, so to speak. If none of those approaches are working out, that's when I finally start to think about advertising. Because when I advertise, well, what am I going to say? How much is it going to cost me? Where should I advertise? Am I allowed to ask that? You know, there can be a lot of considerations. Plus, once I advertise, I'm going to get lots of applications. That can be pretty disruptive, you know, phone calls and emails and people stopping in. Plus, I hopefully get lots of applications. I weed through the process. I pick someone and I have one person who's really happy, and all the other applicants who often may be friends of mine, customers, people that I have other relationships with, they're not so happy. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I don't expect to get every job I ever apply for, but if I can avoid that as an employer, that's a win for me. So if we think about this funnel, first, I look for people that I trust. I ask people that I trust. I look in the files, and then I advertise. What that means is that by the time you get to ads, it's the fewest jobs, and often the cream of the crop of the jobs are already gone. Now, as an employee, I want to match my efforts to that funnel. If I spend all my time looking at ads and looking whether it's in the paper or job board or online and only responding to ads, I could be really missing out for the best jobs and the most jobs. So I want to rearrange my efforts. I still can look at ads, but I want to put the priority in getting to know employers and getting to know people that employers trust. That is where I'm most likely going to have success. So thinking about this job search funnel, let's rearrange how we put our time and effort. And Cindy, you have a really good idea about how we can really put this into practice.
Yes, absolutely, Lois. One of the things that we can do to build that relationship or to match the employer's needs within their funnel is with a personal commercial. You may be familiar with this as an elevator speech. Now, here in rural Alberta, we don't have as many elevators as they may in the larger centers. And if we do have an elevator, they may not actually take 30 seconds to get to the next floor. So we like to call it the 30-second personal commercial. Now, you honestly have 30 seconds to make that great impression to either a potential employer or someone who's connected to an employer. One of the first items that you'll include within your 30-second commercial is your name, if you're meeting someone for the first time. If the person you're conversing with knows who you are, then you don't need to say your name again. That would be rather redundant. But the next item you want to give to them is, what position are you looking for? What type of job or what job title is it that you're on the hunt for? And then you want to go back to that top 10 list that we created from the last video, and you're going to want to pull out 2, probably 3 assets from that list that really connect with the type of position that you've just said you're looking for. Then you want to follow up with the best way to be reached. We're not just going to leave you off at the end like that. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little role play and give you a couple of examples of some ways that you can develop a personal commercial that you can integrate in conversation, but yet gets your point across, to use your 30 seconds wisely to get into that hidden job market. In our first example, I'm going to be the employer and Lois is going to be the employee. Lois, tell me a little bit about your employee.
So today I decided I'm going to be someone who's fairly young. I know I've got a little gray here, but I can pretend. Who's looking for some kind of entry level, possibly a retail position. And I'm going to say that I'm at the grocery store and I see someone who's maybe an acquaintance. I don't know them really well, but we kind of know each other's names, and they're coming down the aisle and I'm ready for them. So let me get started.
Hi, Lois. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad, Cindy. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. What have you been up to lately?
Well, actually, I'm busy looking for work. I would really like to get into a local position, maybe something in a store. I really enjoy working with people, and I learned about good communication in 4-H. So I feel like I've got those skills, and I like numbers too. I think that there's a good chance that something is going to open up. If you hear of anything, please let me know. I think you have me on Facebook. You can send me a message, or you can always reach me at my folks.
Oh, absolutely. I think I might just have a friend of mine who may be looking. I'll just double check and see if they still have something available. And if they do, I'll send you a message on Facebook. Absolutely. Well,
That's
stay
awesome.
well.
Thanks. And that's it, right? A few seconds. And I think I did pretty good. I got, my name, the kind of job I'm looking for, some strengths I have, and you know how to get hold of me. That's all it takes. Now, Cindy, your turn.
Okay, well, in my situation, why don't we say that we run into each other at the post office? And in my example, I am going to be an experienced construction worker, been in the industry for quite a few years and recently laid off. And we pass cross at the post office.
Okay, well, I'm going to go first. I'm going to open my mail.
Oh, hey, Lois, is that you? I haven't seen you for a while.
Oh, hi, Cindy. How are you doing?
Well, you know, funny you should ask that, Lois. I actually just got home. I was laid off from my job that was from out of town. I've been working construction on construction equipment. And, you know, I really love working with the equipment, but I'd rather find a job a little bit closer to home. Kind of tired of living out of the hotel situation.
Yeah.
If you happen to know anybody, like I've got 10 plus years experience working on construction equipment, and I'm super safety conscious. I have a very good safety record, and I really truly take really good care of my equipment. Maintenance is a prime concern for me, so I make sure to do that to my equipment first thing in the morning and when I end up at the night. And oh, hey, do you have my cell phone number? Because if you happen to come upon anybody who's looking for a good experienced construction worker with a good safety record and takes maintenance as a high priority, I'd really love it if you shared my contact.
Well, hey, send me a text because I'm not sure I do. But if I hear of anything, I'll for sure pass your name along.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Well, you take care.
Okay, see ya.
Yeah.
And there you go, another example. Everyone's going to have their own little story to tell. And I would say it is really important to practice it and practice out loud so that someone can give you some feedback as to if you're giving the impression and covering the things that you need to. And the more you practice, it's going to be much easier to just let it flow out when you are meeting up with someone. Then you can adapt more easily. The other thing I think is really important, we talked about, oh, I happened to run into someone in the co-op, or I happened to see someone at the post office. This is a strategy that you want to do on purpose, not by accident. So maybe I'm going to set a goal for myself. Today, I'm going to go to town and I'm going to go to the co-op, I'm going to go to the gas station, I'm going to go to the post office, the drugstore, the hardware store, the hockey game. I'm going to plan for some opportunities, and then I'm going to find somebody I can talk to. And I'm not coming home until I speak to 4 people. That's the kind of strategy that will really make this useful, make you able to connect with the right person who will have the link to the job. I've heard it said that 75% or even higher of jobs are not advertised. So if you take the initiative, make those connections, let people know that you're available, what you're looking for, what you're able to offer, there's a good chance that that is where that job that you need is going to appear. So here's our little hint on how to win at the job market. Use your personal commercial to get the word out. If you'd like to watch this video again, you can catch it on our Facebook pages or on our website. Flagstaff Community Adult Learning is fcal.net, and Paint Earth Community Adult Learning is paintearthlearning.ca. Thanks for joining us, and good luck with your job search.
Bye-bye.